Hello and welcome back to Rogue Trader. We've got some companion quests to do. We're nearing the end of the act and we haven't really talked to anybody. We haven't really learned a bunch about our companions and figured out like what companion quests are actually going on. So I thought we would we're doing a little short episode here, so I figured let's focus on some of the companions,
Lord Captain.
chat to everybody on board, and just see if there's any quests we can pick up.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What? I used to be an officer in the Navis.
Learn a little bit about everyone.
No. Used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling. The essence of my life.
Also nice.
I was proud
Get to have some VA
Lord
time.
Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy
God,
was
his drip
providing
is so good.
reinforcement to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue trader's personal capsule.
Must have
it was
impressed
a
her.
difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the Expanse.
There's a way to cure my strange rash on the ship, but also an achievement for finishing the game without curing it. Oh man, that's the worst thing you could have told me. There's no way I'm curing the strange rash now. I'm gonna tease Abelard. I'm gonna say the way you talk about Theodora, I'm beginning to think you were in love with her.
What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting. Utterly baseless.
Why were you permitted to quit your post in the Navy?
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader.
No, that's fair.
To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion,
Coercion
in the
test
heat of
succeeded.
an official briefing or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
That's why I like you, Abelard. You're not afraid to speak up. You got a
I am
family?
a widower. I am a father of 4, and if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11.
Okay, we met his daughter.
My family lives on Dargonus. Of course.
Until next time, Seneschal. I'm not going to let him refer to me by my first name. I got to, you know, keep him in check. Adira, we definitely want to talk to. You seem to have a strong reaction to what Argenta said about a broken lens.
It was just my nerves playing up.
I don't know when she said that. It's been so long since we've used her.
Something about our little saint doesn't sit right with me, and I trust my gut.
I agree with you. Out the
Sure,
airlock.
she seems straight as an arrow and as predictable as a hangover after drinking. But when I look at her, something about her makes my brain itch. After that conversation, I tried to listen to what was being said about her. Beyond the door, what I heard was strange. Blood in her past, twilight in her present, and something like a star leading her. But where is it leading her? I saw several roads, and all of them frightened me.
God, Adira's got some really good drip right too. All of our characters are looking really cool. Do you think I should keep an eye on her?
It certainly wouldn't hurt. I'll keep a watch on her too. If only I knew what it meant. Maybe it means danger for her. Or maybe danger coming from her.
Have you recovered from your encounter with the false Theodora? This was like a long time ago, but there was a false Theodora that appeared on the ship, and Adira almost got basically killed.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't. Maybe I never will. But I'm not hearing random voices anymore. And I haven't been calling anyone from the other side. No. All that's done with. After what you did for me, I can't let you down again.
Promise to help her. I mean, I want her to just get, like, in contact with more demons, but let's hope for the best.
Yes, sir, Lord Captain. We will...
Where'd you come from?
An outlying world in the Heathen
Hey,
Stars
Mona.
region. In the Koronus Expanse, the deeper you go, the less visible the Astronomicon gets, and the less people know about the Imperium. The arrival of a rogue trader is the best thing that can happen to a world like that. The very best. It's an out-of-the-way planetoid between two faint stars. On Lyra, a dozen local tyrants fight over 5 measly continents. But they use everything they can to win. From poison to psychers.
A war of assassins.
I haven't been there in many years, but there's
war of
nothing for me to
Mona.
miss. Trust me.
Come on, Mona, I need to
But
get the next
here
thing.
on the ship is a different story altogether. I saw more wonders in my first year serving Lady von Valancius than I'd seen in my whole life on Lyra. Like my first journey through the warp, I was in bed for 3 days. I felt like supernovas were exploding in my head. I only found out later that I'd gotten off easy. Just through the bulkhead in the bay next to mine, a whole team turned into... Look at me rambling on, Lord Captain. Pay no attention.
Interesting. Saved or not saved? Just saved? Save again? Oh man, I quick save constantly in this, so.
It wasn't like it was a very fun trip, Lord Captain. But look, if you want to be entertained, I'm the woman for the job. I'll entertain you with one of the stories from my collection, no problem. But if you want to hear about the time I melted everyone in the bay next door,
I do.
well, I just don't really want to go into the details on that one, all right?
Have you ever been off the ship?
A few times. Not many.
Interesting.
And if I think about it, why would I want to? I've got everything I need here. All the whispers I hear are familiar ones. They almost feel like family. And if I want to hear about the nightmares off the ship, I can, after some Amisec. But don't go getting the wrong idea. If I have to, I'll follow you to the edge of the galaxy. Of course, Lord Captain.
What awaits me in the future?
All right. Let's hear what they're whispering about you.
Adira laughs and rubs her hands together, suddenly freezes with a vacant smile on her face, her head slightly tilted. You feel goosebumps appear on your skin and your collar begins to waver ever so slightly, as if moved by a breeze from a half-open door.
In the cradle of your ancestors, a black dragon hungers, cunning and spitting venom. Many paths lead from home, but only one leads back to it, black and full of sorrow. When you start along the path, make haste. Make haste.
Well, this is gibberish.
I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in somehow, but for now...
In the cradle of your ancestors. There's a station called like the Cradle of Kepri. A black dragon hungers. I guess Dargonis could also be the cradle of our ancestors. Cunning and spitting venom. A black dragon could be Drukari. When you start along the path, make haste, make haste. I just feel like that's them being like, stop delaying the plot. There is Mundus Valancius, yeah, right? Got a new story? What's it like being a psyker? Actually, I'm kind of curious
Lord
on this.
Captain, forgive me, but it would be like talking to a person born blind about colors. I could spend hours explaining, but it wouldn't make any sense to you. Every psyker feels their connection with the warp in their own way. One person might see spots and shadows out of the corner of their eye. Another feels fingers running down their spine. As for me, I've got a door in my head. One that's open just a crack. There's no way to close it, no matter how hard I try. I've just had to get used to the whispers from the other side. When I need to use it for work, I listen in more closely. But I usually just try not to notice it.
And what would happen if this door burst open?
The thing is, the less I think about it, the less chance someone from the other side has to sense my fear. Let's not talk about it.
Let's keep talking about it. Aren't you afraid of losing control?
You know, what happened to me? Well, you remember. I thought I'd go crazy with fear. But now that I know you've got my back, it's like that cursed whispering in my head has grown quieter. It's easier not to think about the worst that could happen.
Can you see my future?
All right. That's what I'm here for, after all. So, I'm just going to...
Didn't we already do
All
this?
right.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing.
You got a story
You
for
better-
me.
Okay.
Oh, wow, this is quite the story.
We went to Footfall once. Well, I mean, Lord Captain Theodora went to Footfall a lot. But on that occasion, she took me with her for some reason. My day had gotten off to a bad start. My head had been yammering since I woke up, but there was nothing else for it. I had to go. We arrived at the place, and what a place! All the gentlemen and ladies dressed to kill, showing off their encrusted implants, all clustered around little tables. Well, turned out it was a gaming den.
I want to go
And
here.
not just any gaming den, but one run by somebody with deep pockets for people with just as much cash to
They were
slash.
betting on
You
anime
should
horse
have
girl
seen
races.
People gambling away planets in a game of regicide. Anyway, so the Lord Captain wanted me to help her beat some guy. So I tell her, the chips won't land in your favor. You'll get a bad hand. Don't sit down at that table, your ladyship. But did she listen? Of course she didn't. If there's one thing she never lacked, it's stubbornness. So they sat down and the cards were dealt. I'm hovering around like I'm not involved, but I'm keeping my eye on things.
Can we use
And
Adira to
everything
cheat
in my
at
head keeps
gambling?
getting louder and louder. Anyway, it's a good thing I realized in time that my mind wasn't going haywire over a losing hand, but something else. I made some excuse to drag the Lord Captain up from the table and took her away from that place. And a few minutes later, the room where we'd been... It turned out some wise guy had the same bright idea to bring a pet psyker along with him. One of those ones who just scuttle around in Footfall's underbelly. And the psyker just freaked out, I guess. After all the commotion, people went to see what happened in the room. And they'd all gone for each other's throats.
Oh, man.
Literally, with teeth.
This is why you got to bring psychers everywhere,
And I
right?
think they completely detached that asteroid from Footfall and pushed it off into open space so it would head off toward the local star. Of course.
That's a good story. So I guess like Adira's stuff is already done for this chapter as well. Bergag, thank you for the follow, dude. Welcome to the agency.
Take heed, Nemo. Our blessed Domin honors us with a visit.
We still haven't been able to
The one
romance
who
Cabela,
delivered this ark from the
which is funny because
curse of
everyone does
your
it by accident.
existence.
I'd like to know more about the sacred mysteries of the death cult.
The Vizier taught us that there are many like us throughout the Imperium who spill blood in his name. Death cultists, as they call us. He said that no two death cults are the same, just as there are no two identical stars in the void. I will tell you about the blood-spun web, but I cannot speak on behalf of all death cults.
She's got quite a way of speaking. So breathy. You say the God Emperor is death. There are some who might find this comparison blasphemous.
The Undying One is death itself. We serve him, and thus we serve death. This is not a comparison, attribution, or preference. It is the truth, and nothing can change it.
Can you teach me to follow the tenets of the blood-spun web?
The tenets are knowledge, an art that is passed down from one generation of the
Man, they're never going to let me in their cool cult.
to the next. Even so, there are spinners who will never fully comprehend this knowledge in the time allotted to them by the Undying One. The tenets dictate how one follows the thread of life, but they are also the thread itself.
All right. You've satisfied my curiosity for now. Gestures at her scars. You torture yourself. What's the meaning of this ritual?
Torture? I bear the sacred marks of the Undying One's
Trying to see like what might unlock a
service.
quest here.
Death has bestowed them upon me.
So much voice acting to the game since release. Yeah.
Hollow riches,
Everything on the void deck is voice acted.
beauty. It is my duty to cherish his gift of blood. Each wound is a symbol of our service to him. Each drop of blood carries his blessing. To renounce these scars is to renounce the Undying One himself. Death whispers to me, "You are worthy of bearing his marks." Tell me, Domin, do you wish to honor your flesh with his gifts?
You notice several officers exchanging worried glances as they eye the blade in Cabela's hand. Carve a nefarious symbol into your skin. I will do it myself, says the heretic.
Enough. You have made a mockery of the sacred ritual. So be it. The tenets teach us to hold no ill will. But I will have no part in this.
No. Maybe Cabela is not the right bay for us. If the Undying One whispers my name, will you carry out his will?
I will listen, but I will make my own decision.
Interesting.
Death claims all, one way or another. But it is within my power to stay the sentence.
And tell me about the tarot.
I use blood to read his sacred cards and hear the whisper of the Undying One. His tarot
We kind of have like
not an
two
answer, but a question
diviners
I
on the
ask
ship.
of the universe. And the universe answers with questions of its own. In this sacred communion, I perceive hundreds of possible outcomes. They are all true, and yet they are only visions. I know what will come to pass.
I wonder,
And yet, I do not.
when you become an exemplar, could you make Cabela an unsanctioned psyker? Like, could I make her a biomancer so all of her attacks do poison? Lore Imperium succeeded. The Emperor's Tarot is usually read by Psychic Psychers. Psychic Sanctures?
I am the spear of his retribution, not a witch or a sorcerer or a soothsayer.
Ah, but you could be.
I have no strange powers, but I do bear his blessing. I do not command the veil. I am guided by his whisper and led by my faith, by the tenets. Please, do not mistake me for something I am not.
Warp's test succeeded. You occasionally feel a shiver run down your spine or detect faint sparks in the air when you're standing next to Cabela. It seems her powers only manifest when she's practicing divination or in moments of pious exaltation. Cabela herself does not seem to be aware of her gift. She is a psyker. Oh, that rules. How did you come to have a deck of his tarot?
It is a holy relic that has been passed down from generation to generation. Only the first and second spinners are allowed to study the sacred cards and interpret their meaning.
How many cards are in your deck?
34. There used to be more, but some have perished in the darkness of time.
That's interesting.
Their loss is a great tragedy.
I don't think you
for
could
the
lose tarot
Bloodspun
cards out of a
Web.
deck. I don't think it works like that. Can you give me a reading?
Ask the cards, Domin, and I will listen.
I am worried for you. I want you to do a reading for yourself.
Let's see. The God Emperor, the Assassin inverted, the Moon inverted, the Preacher.
Yes, very good. I know what this means.
I will meet death twice very soon. The first time, it will not claim anyone, but the second, someone's thread will end, bringing change to many lives. This change may be a blessing or a curse. That is all I see.
The moon is a circle. Is there such a thing as inverted? So tarot cards, when you read them, if you pull them and they're upside down, it means they're inverted. So it normally means like the opposite of what they normally are. So, like, I don't know, if the assassin meant killing and blood, then the assassin inverted might mean death and, I don't know, man, inside blood instead of outside blood. Logical rules to an illogical system makes perfect sense. I mean, it's all just about in putting your own interpretations on it all. What does the future hold for me? She draws 4 cards from the deck and lays them face down before you.
The first card is the young warrior. It suggests inexperience, a path of becoming. The second card is the shattered world inverted.
We did shatter a world
Path
into
will
a
have
demon world.
twists, turns and thorns, but you will gather allies along the way and find what was lost. The third, the hound inverted. Someone has marked you as their prey and is chasing you through a field of traps. The lost child. You will leap into one of those traps of your own free will and place your trust in someone truly desperate.
Great. I have no questions at this time. I guess you also don't have any new quests for me. Pascal and Jay? I mean, Pascal should have some stuff to talk about after Kiava Gamma. 4-card draw, right? Yeah, also normally tarot is 3 cards. Who is the tarot? What is the tarot? Why is the tarot? Nobody ever asks how is the tarot.
My apologies. 19% of my processing power is engaged in the analysis of my tech comrade's memory. My response time may be longer than usual.
Are you not surprised that Arbanat's words had such an effect on Opticon 22?
I was not knowledgeable as to how popular Blessed Arbanat's teaching was in exploratory circles. The Cognizance fleet is massive. His ideas might have found a larger following on its periphery than in the Mother Squadron.
Have you found anything out?
The data is scarce. His identification code is the same as mine, and his memory contains data confirming that the assassination did take place. Unfortunately, some of his memory was damaged by pulses broadcast by his battle harness. I can assert with some confidence that he was who he claimed to be, and that he served the Deus Mechanicus earnestly.
Oh, this is... Opticon 22 was a guy... Well, we have not talked to anybody on the ship, like, ever. Opticon 22 was, like, a guy who came to our ship to try and kill Pascal. He was another tech priest. I figured he was talking about the guy on the planet that we ran into. Sometimes it takes some time and your retinue will come to you with a new quest after talking to them. Yeah. Believe those cages were empty? These ones? Yeah, I mean, I'm starting... Yeah, look at this. I have a bunch of, like, caged people here as well. We're definitely starting to see the effects of our heresy taking place all over the ship and on the planets. Perhaps you'll be able to find out more.
Continue my research into the Blessed Martyr's memory with all due reverence.
Have you stuttered Dementa's neural augmetic yet?
I have I've destroyed it.
Oh. A slight telltale rattle in Pascal's voice makes him sound unconvincing. Well, you're lying.
This statement is true.
Don't lie to me, Pascal. I'm the rogue trader.
I am yet to settle into a definitive course of action. I am running a spot diagnostic on the memory of the heretic Demens. Even though purity protocols stipulate that his blasphemous knowledge must be eradicated, I am not drawn toward forbidden information.
Yeah, you will be, though.
Data concerning the blessed Amonats.
Was there any information on him?
The data discovered is unreadable. It is encrypted, albeit only partially, and I hypothesize that the heretic Demens was attempting to decrypt it. I will take every effort to extract a larger volume of data. Information pointing to the unit referred to as the maimed hunter is alleged to be of critical significance.
What corrupted him?
An echo of the warp. Energies of the Imperium that had seeped into real space and taken the shape of a Vox signal. I have
Cool.
found recorded cases of similarly induced corruption in the archive. Listening to the void is a perilous occupation.
But you do want to know what he knew. You were interested.
The quest for knowledge is our mission of highest priority. But what Demens promised was not knowledge, but a distorted copy.
I don't know about
This is
that.
not what the Deus Mechanicus had told us to seek.
Sounds like you fear it even as you extol it.
Whether knowledge can be profane is the grand question.
Isn't it, though?
Lay people find comfort in the delusion that knowledge is merely information. That, in and of itself, it is harmless, and only turns dangerous when it falls into the hands of the wicked. But that is not what I have seen. I have seen knowledge gnaw away at the minds of those who let it inside them. Yet I seek it regardless. Why? Perhaps because there really is no apostasy in knowledge.
Yes.
It is dangerous, yes, but not forbidden. For it was created by the Omnissiah.
You seek knowledge because it's what you enjoy doing. So do what you enjoy. Otherwise, what's the point of living? This is definitely the most Slaneshi option.
That too is true. I thirst for knowledge, and the Omnissiah has rewarded me with the gift of a mission to seek it. Perhaps it makes no difference to him whether good or ill comes of the knowledge I obtain. He merely wants me to obtain it.
The tech priest lowers his head pensively. The mechadendrites slow down smoothly, and the steely overtones disappear from his voice. Have you found anything out?
The success has been partial. Demens Haneman's identity has been confirmed.
How Naaman? That's how he says it.
The influence of paranoid motivations is observable in his cognitive processes, which is what seems to have caused him to break his vows. However, extensive regions of his memory have been damaged by forbidden technologies and are, for now, defying decryption. My study of the minds of the tech comrades, Abel, Tarsus, and Demens, has revealed an anomalous similarity between the patterns of damage their memories sustained. What I attributed to cognitive idiosyncrasies, synaptic damage, and the distortive action of scrap code may be the result of a different kind of influence. The undecryptable data fragments in their memory arrays are mysteriously symmetrical.
Dude, we're gonna find a way to corrupt Pascal, I'm sure of it.
Response: affirmative. The decryption will continue with diligence and caution.
Strange messages have been appearing in the ship's log. What do you know about this error?
This statement is true. Algorithmic violations have been recorded, as a result of which I twice performed an offering to the cogitators of corrective data vows and ruled out the possibility of sabotage. I hypothesize that the violation is a consequence of the discontent of the ship's machine spirits. I recommend a procedure of location of the honored spirits for the glory of the Omnissiah and the steel angels sent by him.
I'll throw a party for the ship. No problem. I want to know the truth about you.
The request is approved.
Ooh.
I did conceal certain information. I was a student of Archmagos Amanat, but I committed an act of betrayal after he deviated from sacred dogma.
What did Armanat do?
He fell into schism and challenged the sacred boundaries of knowledge. The blessed Amanat claimed the limits of what is permitted must be expanded.
Yes, that's good heretic.
By refusing to explore certain law, we find ourselves in contempt of the seventh universal law. Comprehension is the key to all things.
I mean, it's really interesting seeing the AdMech just like constantly struggle with heresy. Like, it's like every single time they find Xenotech, they always want to study it. They can't help but like poke into what the Necrons are doing all the time. And it always gets them killed. But any other part of the Imperium would just be like, we're not allowed to learn about that. You're not allowed to learn about that.
Put forth a thesis claiming that we have stagnated, that ritual is now nothing but a cage for souls and false worship of the Omnissiah. He sought to break the cycle of mindless repetition because he saw the inevitable demise of our faith and all humanity at the end of it.
Amanat of yours is a dyed-in-the-wool heretic. I mean, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna, you know, say that the Imperium sucks. Certain aspects of the Imperium have indeed ossified. His argument sounds reasonable.
This statement is false. My mentor's words sound like heresy.
Ah, what's a little heresy?
Limits were established
Between
because
friends.
It is dangerous to venture beyond. Each step past them could lead to a bloody slaughter, but the blessed Amanat was not afraid.
All right, well, how did you betray him?
The teachings of the blessed Amanat spread, and word of it reached the conclave of the Cognizance fleet. They recognized his teachings as tech heresy.
Yeah.
Many tech priests suddenly vanished
Yeah.
and were subjected to servo penance for minor transgressions. The students of Amanat
Choose your next words carefully, brother.
included many enlightened and respected tech priests resisted. My prognosis showed that our most likely future was a schism and a fratricidal war that would destroy the Cognizance fleet. That was when I headed to the Conclave. I confessed and handed the information about my mentor's research over to the Conclave. Brazen anthematic studies of the Forbidden Law. The Conclave could use that data to summon Archmagos Amanat to stand trial and compel him to repent on pain of excommunicate traitoris. His subsequent fate is unknown to me.
I do kind of want to call him a traitor because he basically said he was committing heresy, so I turned him in. And I'm committing heresy all the time. Rather callous of you. I guess you really do have a heart of metal.
This statement is true. However, I took this step out of loyalty to my mentor. He
Pascal's the
rejected
best, man.
caution and was
He's the
leading
best
us to a
companion.
blasphemous war where he would become the first and most important victim. I did not want to witness his destruction and tried to force him to submit. I wanted to return to my mentor and share his fate, but the Conclave found me repentant and sent me to the station Altar Templum Calixis X-17, where I was to atone for my previous transgressions.
You're as good at finding excuses as you are at technology.
This statement is false. I, Pascal Hahnemann, fully accept responsibility for my profane acts and betraying the trust of my esteemed mentor.
I mean, I gotta know the answer to all these questions. Why did you go to
I
Rycat
was
then?
summoned there by a message that was encrypted with the blessed Amanat's personal code.
All right. The
Could it be interpreted in several
tech priest
ways?
named Abel. Who was he?
I never met him, but I think he
We
was
met
a
him in the
person
plasma
of
chambers.
worth. The phrase that came from his lips indicates he was in contact with my mentor. I preserved his cortical implant and absorbed the information it contained. However, the large amounts of data memories are encoded with a cipher yet unfamiliar to me.
Well, what are you gonna do next?
I was wrong when I assumed it was the blessed Archmagos Amanat, who assumed the guise of Abel Haneman. But there is a connection between him and the Reverend Abel, and I intend to uncover the nature of this link. Acknowledged.
All right.
Return to ruminating on the search for the... May your labors be effective and fruitful.
Okay, we got a few things open up there. Tormented captive. Yeah, these guys are definitely new. Hard to tell if the gore on the bars belonged to the prisoner or whoever languished here before him. Corrupted ship servant. The Drukari's eyes bore through contemptuously through the bar. Victims bearing fresh wounds shiver in their corners behind him. Food for the Xenos. Interesting. We've just captured a Drukari and are feeding him mutants.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored
okay.
without our little talk, Shireen?
I will help you acquire a merchant certificate. There is a J quest.
Oh, Shireen, thank you for such generosity. I will humbly wait until you steer your vessel towards Dargonus. The Mercatum Tabula Officiale. It sounds almost as majestic as the warrant of trade.
I've seen enough of the shiny wrapping of the Koronus Expanse. Tell me about its dark side.
The dark side is the real Koronus Expanse, if you ask me. But what do you want to know about it, Shireen?
How do they do things on footfall?
Dynasties drink with criminals. Rogue traders strike deals with the Casbalica, and dozens of ships
Funniest
stop
quest in
off
the
for a
game?
welcome break from a long voyage. Is there a more beautiful place in the entire Imperium? The Emperor is merciful to the meek and the powerful alike. There's a job for everyone as long as they have a head on their shoulders. And if you feel like talking to him in person, the statue of the Exalted One can be seen from any asteroid. You can pray to your heart's content.
All right, tell me about Casbalica.
An ancient crime cartel that originated with the first settlers of the Calixis sector. It is run by shadowy clans with robber barons at the helm.
That sounds like us.
Cross their path, and you risk making enemies all over the Koronus Expanse, or even the entire Imperium. As for the agents, they are just shameless, greedy scum.
It's kind of nice how she can say so much so quickly, and Pascal and Cabela take like an hour to say a single paragraph.
Every third person on footfall is a Casbalican. But that doesn't mean all that rotten filth is acting together. I've been set up more than once just so some Casbalican can get one over on his rivals. And yet, the Casbalica is generous to its customers, if you can afford it. Anything can be obtained, organized, and transported for the right price. The customer is always right, unless they happen to be a rat. In which case...
Lurking listening thought you said that you were eating Drew Carey. No, Drew Curry. That crossover comes up a lot though. Scum, rotten filth, rats. It's almost as if Jay's mask briefly slipped and she started using words that have no place in the vocabulary of someone from the upper strata of the Imperium. Are you one of the Casabelica's robber barons?
What gave you such an outrageous idea? Was it my immaculate garment? My gorgeous jewelry? Do not worry, Shireen. I will let you know once I become a baroness, should the Exalted One will it. Just imagine the strong and fruitful alliance that could be forged between a rogue trader and the mastermind of the Casbalica.
So how did you become a Casbalican agent?
It's not hard to do on footfall. I spent a year working for good old Christo. He was a brave soldier who gave up the
Not sure if
ghost
she
in
knows
his
whether
effort
she's
to
French or
towards.
Persian.
And then took over his business.
But she's also a
Having
little
good head
Irish.
on your shoulders and keeping the Exalted One in your heart helps to establish new contacts quickly. Eventually, I gathered together a group of honest and loyal people. And it only took a few successful contracts for the Kasbalika to take notice. I quickly settled on footfall and started dispensing my wisdom to my protégés and subordinates. I lost the taste for getting my hands dirty.
I mean, it's kind of one of like the fun things about 40k is that like none of the accents are Terran accents. Like it's very rare to meet someone from Terra. So their accents often are like a weird hodgepodge of different things because like that's, you know, what these planets have become. It's its own sort of blend. And I think the voice actor for Jay has talked about that, how she said, oh, I wanted to take a couple of different accents and merge them together into something new because, like, she's Kasballikan or whatever. She's not necessarily from Terra.
Why not? The decision is yours.
Oops, sorry. I wanted to know about the coal trade.
It really is simple, Shireen. The Kasbalika runs the Imperium's black market, offering special goods to those who can afford their services. Yes, I am talking about Xeno artifacts too. Alien weapons, technology, sometimes even
Pretty good. Good
certain
on them.
kinds
Yeah,
of
I think they do a
living
great job.
creatures. Unlike the rogue traders whose sacred warrants make them immune even from the laws of the Exalted One, Kasballikan agents are used to hiding and covering their tracks. Nobody wants to draw unwanted attention, no matter who might take an interest. Especially now that the Koronus Expanse has a warrior of the Golden Throne as its watchman. Why not? The decision is yours, Shireen.
You don't look like a typical smuggler.
No truer words have ever been said. I'm far more exciting than some small-time peddlers from Footfall. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Jai Amira Fatqin Tamiri Ash Ifrit, the 12th daughter of the Lord of Ifrit, a distant world at the fringes of the Imperium. The youngest child is destined to become a bargaining chip in the family's political games. But I was unwilling to accept such a fate, and wanted to choose what to become and which path to follow. When I learned the Exalted One watches over
That's not
hundreds
true.
of other worlds amidst distant stars, I understood there was an entire world of opportunities beyond Ifrit. All I had to do was break the familial bonds tying me down and escape the planet. Which I did a long time ago.
Thank you for sharing this.
All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too.
Argenta seems to have gotten under your skin.
Argenta? What could be more beautiful than the sight of a sister of battle, whose mere presence casts light in the dark corners of lost souls such as mine? But alas, what remains of my sanity is telling me that poor Jai can only admire the radiance of this angel, forsaking any hope of ever touching her wings.
I like how you can just say, get off my ship.
Oh.
Okay, so we do have a J quest. And I guess I want to see if Solomorn has a quest, just because his is like new content. I think we already have a quest for him. It's just up in the top right corner of the map.
Greetings, Rogue Trader. I would like to report that Glato and I have finished our initial inspection of the upper decks. The list of infractions ended up being 5 pages shorter than expected. I'm beginning to worry that a servant of the Lex might have little to occupy himself with aboard your ship.
Ignore him and just go straight for the dog. Hello, Glato. The Cyber Mastiff pricks up his ears, examining you with an intelligent look that seems anything but bestial. Every person who pets this dog gets eaten. I'm gonna give him a piece of dried meat. He looks at the treat with indifference.
Glato is not a house pet, Rogue Trader. Trying to feed him will get you nowhere. He only eats out of my hands, and only at specific times. Strict training. It protects the Cyber Mastiff against deliberate poisoning and other ill intents. Basically, don't waste your time or your meat.
I'm petting him.
I must remind you that Glato is a living weapon. If you like the number of fingers you have, do not touch the dog.
I'm still gonna pet him.
I am sure a rogue trader can afford the best implants.
Lore Imperium test succeeded. You carefully bring an open hand closer to the Cybermastiff's face and wait for his reaction. Glado's dark eyes are watching you, a crimson spark smoldering within. At last, you touch the back of his neck and start stroking his rough fur, your fingers brushing against the cold edges of the dog's augmetics.
Have you decided to make an exception for the Emperor's anointed Glato?
Yeah.
Fine. Congratulations on your achievement, Rogue Trader. Glato has never allowed anyone to do that before.
Yeah, we pet a dog. Does he have a favorite type of training or some other pastime of choice?
Sometimes I let him play with
Achievement
heretics'
unlocked, pet the
corpses.
dog.
That was a joke. If you're asking about entertainment, that concept does not really apply to an RBT's dog. But I like to imagine that Glato is enthusiastic about training with me, that he enjoys running long distances at my side. And during target practice, he always seems eager to hear me give the attack order.
Man, we have the 176th of persuasion. That can't be all of it, can it?
Fine, let me satisfy your
Ramo, hello.
curiosity.
Good morning.
I do have a special exercise that helps to sharpen Glato's hunting instincts. I take a few ammo casings and hide them in hard-to-reach places. One time, after a raid on a manufactorum, I gave him a whole abandoned workshop to run around in, but I also played a trick on him by throwing one casing onto a ceiling beam. Then it was Glato's turn to play tricks. He waited under the beam until I walked up to him. Then he jumped onto my shoulders and climbed to the top.
No, what a good dog.
He cut my temple open with his claw and almost broke my clavicle, but he got the casing.
I think you and Glato could do with your own trading ground. I will order a space be prepared in one of my compartments and have it outfitted with everything you need. I'm not doing this for Salamor, just to be clear. I'm doing this for the dog.
The equipment needs to be sturdy. Glato is unstoppable when he's not holding back. Thank you.
Serve with duty and honor, Glato. It seems he does not take kindly to anyone making eye contact with him for more than a second. Shall we discuss the mission on Thesera?
Of course. Which part?
I'm curious, did you like any of the entertainment we saw?
I was on a mission, not attending to pointless amusements.
What a boring man you are.
You should take that into account if you ever need an escort for some high society events. You know, one who actually has your back and keeps watch instead of drinking.
What do you think we could have done to satisfy the prefect?
I do not know. It was one of those tough situations where only time will tell how well you handled them. If I were in your position, I would take the prefect's evaluation in stride and learn from your painful experience on Thesera. Sometimes, life knocks the wind out of you.
I'm not
in a way
learning
that
from my
can't be
experience.
dodged, so it helps to learn how to take a hit.
She can say what she likes. I'm convinced I made the right
I'm
choice.
not going to call the prefect's judgment into question, but you had to make a difficult decision, and you made it. You took responsibility. I appreciate such qualities in people.
All right, enough
We could
about
discuss
this.
something else?
You seem relaxed.
I doubt such a word could ever be accurately used to describe an arbitrator, but there is some truth to your observation. Since we're not in combat, I permit myself to stand at ease, which is to say, I'm standing by on full alert.
Make the hand signal for understood. I like that most of your conversations with Salamor, you could tease him like so much. Must feel strange to be without your unit.
I've never been a part of a rogue trader's escort before. That said, I adapt to change more quickly than you might think. And as long as Glato is with me, I can handle any transition. You know where to find me.
All right. A desecrated statue stares menacingly as if people cowering below, as if promising severe punishment to those who dare disobey the master of the vessel. What statue is this? I feel like there should be a statue here, but I'm not seeing it. Whoa! We're just like hanging flayed bodies from the ship now, too? Damn, dude, we really are getting heretical. Oh, yeah, look at this. we absolutely are becoming a heretic ship. We did have to look into a confession. Have you made a confession lately? Some destined to perish in the warp while others must go on living? Those some weren't trying hard enough or listening to their higher ups is all. Odd choice of a person to come up with something like that, Captain. Alright, well, it wasn't you then. Who else do we have on this ship? Old Iric Montag. He's just hanging out up here now, too? Have you made a confession lately? No, I have not. All right. Well, good enough. I like that all those, the guys from Void Shadow all stand up here now as well. Leadhard Forius. Who the heck is this guy? Random screams of the dead are a good sign, aren't they always? Ship, inform me of our imminent meeting. Lower your voice conspiratorially. The lop-eared Kleppas? Hold on a second. I'm going to save on that one. I do love a good conspiratory. I assumed you heard my confessional message. Do you wish to talk about it? What? Do I want a pair of Kleppas aboard the ship? Man, I can't remember what his confession was. Important question is why? Fault checking the box device in the ship's reliquary. Master recordings work, but deletion does not. You have helped me establish that. Why lop-eared Kleppas specifically? I had nothing to repent of, so I dictated an excerpt from an old letter to my mother. As you heard, it contained arguments in favor of keeping lop-eared Kleppas on the ship. I can still recite it from memory. Alright, I want a pair of Kleppas on the ship. I'm going to quote my mother's response. That is impossible, you see. The species went extinct several centuries ago. His voice grows ever so slightly warmer. I'm very sorry, Lord Captain. There aren't any Kleppas to be had. Your confession perplexed the initiate. Find a way to delete it and we'll forget about it. Okay. The third confession and the second confession we've found. Portafast of Vibos. Find traces of the Gene Stealer cult. Wait, this is still... The cult of the Nourishers, tainted with genetic corruption, was discovered on Jessavon. Its source must be discovered. Talk to the Master Seals. Save the Aldari survivors. Establish a new colony. Complete a development project of the highest difficulty. We actually did do that. We haven't established a new colony. Check the Cogitator. Visit the Forgotten Twins. Become a Zealot of Chaos. We can also trade 9 weapons for 3 more Extractums. Incendia Quarter is facing a prolonged campaign to weed out the planet's blasphemous elements. She'll pay a generous price for the formidable steel giants of Kiama Gamma. I mean, sure. Vigdis is a she. You are correct. Vigdis is a she. I keep screwing that one up. Your Lordship, the Great Mechanism has sensed your presence. What's that mean? The machine spirit has recognized the one who stands before it. The previous saying of Straight Code signified a greeting as well as an acknowledgement that you have successfully completed a certain task. The Great Mechanism stands ready to process your request. What task? I don't know. Awaiting request. How did it sense my presence? The mechanism was molded in the forges of the Adeptus Mechanicus that it might serve the rogue trader. It was in your presence that its machine spirit first manifested, a miracle of the Omniscience and a testament to his glory. I wish to inquire about something. No, I don't, actually. What was the quest? Use the cogitator? Oh, that was it. Whatever we just did completed that quest. Become a zealot of chaos. That is under archetype, right? Not archetype. This type. Fanatic zealot. Yeah, okay. I have one last. Who was this guy down here? Lettered Furious. Is this like my... A man of indeterminate age bows his head. Greetings, your lordship. Your Churgeon Majoris. Ah, he can cure it. Have you made a confession lately? I do not make confessions, your lordship. My faults and diseases for which a cure is yet to be discovered. Mortal wounds that can be remedied only by the method of the Churgeon's craft. I don't want to cure my rash. Especially now that I know that there's an achievement for it. The Voxmaster. Dan Rock. It's got to be like the Voidsmith then. The Voidsmith. The, what's his face in the chapel? In the Astropathic chapel. I'm just thinking like he's the only guy who would say, you know, why do some people perish in the void and others do not? And he's the only one we haven't talked to? Have you made a confession lately? Why are some destined to perish in the warp while others go on living? Odd that you should have listened to my confession, and odd that you should choose to approach me afterwards. Why? I was led by curiosity. You uncovered all the secrets of the Voidship Shrine. Achievement unlocked. Astropaths seldom die of old age. Unless one thinks of an inexorable drain, our service is on our life forces as an old age of sorts. More often, the warp claims us in its cruel ways, and I've lost many fellows. Death always keeps close to astropaths, and its punishments for arrogance and weakness are severe. I've seen my fellow die, and at times the memories are exceedingly hard to bear. Sadly, almost every choir has a story like that, a survivor who has carried their ghost with them ever since. I cannot continue worrying at these old wounds. Very good. That was all I wanted to know. Intriguing. I'm not a complicated man. Let's head back to space. That was good. We got to know the ship's crew a little bit more. We got to actually talk to some people. Figure out what quests we need to do. To kind of like wrap up the act. And I feel like I guess we'll also probably have options to, when we actually travel around now, that people will start talking to us to continue those quests. I am curious about that Gene Stealer event, but, you know, I'm not seeing a quest icon pop up anywhere else about Gene Stealers, so... We can head up to Dargonis. We have a safe path to Dargonis. Talk to the Master of Seals. Probably pop up there, do those two quests, and then swing over to Vibos. That's going to be a perfect little plan to wrap up this act, which we're going to do tomorrow, because today was just about the crew. That's all this video is. Tomorrow we actually go on, we do this. We do the Master of Seals. We do Odanthius. Maybe that's a video, and then we do Vivos. I'm hopefully going to clear up all of this in the next video. That's going to be the plan, and we wrap up the act. So tune back in for that. Until next time.